Here's the answer up front. Yes, a single acre can replace your winter hay bale, but only in 3 very specific systems. One produces around 5 to 8 tons of usable feed, one produces 3 to 6 tons, and one sits in the 4 to 7 tons range depending on timing. Today, I'll show you exactly how each one gets there and where they fail. Most videos dance around this, so let's start clean. Winter feed isn't about how much an acre can grow, it's about how much of that acre an animal can actually digest and consume in winter. Here's the payoff right away. If an acre produces at least 4 tons of usable dry matter, it can replace hay for one 1,000 to 1,200 pound cow for the full winter. Most acres don't fail on yield, they fail on usability. Then explain why in fast advanced points. You lose 15 to 35% of standing forage before it ever gets into an animal. Weathering, trampling, frost damage, respiration, these shave off real tonnage. Winter isn't a crude protein problem, it's an energy and effective fiber problem. A forage can test 16% protein and still starve animals if NDF is too high. Intake is the gatekeeper. Cattle need 1.8 to 2.6% of body weight in dry matter. Goats, sheep, 3 to 4%. If digestibility drops, intake collapses, even if biomass looks incredible. The lignin wall is the silent killer. Warm season giants throw out massive tonnage, but once lignin rises, animals physically can't eat enough to meet maintenance. Volume isn't the issue, fermentation time is. Quick payoff example. A 10-ton sorghum crop that hits the lignin wall acts like a 4-ton crop in the rumen. A small 4-ton cool season mix with high digestibility can outperform it. This sets the stakes. Before we look at any systems, we need the benchmark. How much usable dry matter does 1 acre actually need to produce to carry 1 cow through winter? Let's walk the math cleanly. Cow weight, 1,100 pounds. Daily dry matter requirement, 1.8 to 2.2% of body weight. That's roughly 20 to 24 pounds of dry matter per day. Over a typical 120-day winter, that becomes 2,400 to 2,880 pounds of dry matter the animal actually needs to eat. But that's not the production target, that's just the intake requirement. Now add the real-world penalties every grazer deals with. Weather loss, 15 to 35% depending on snow, freeze, thaw, and wind. Feeding trampling loss, 10 to 20% even under good management. When you add weather and feeding losses, the acre needs to generate about 4 to 5 tons of usable dry matter to feed 1 cow through winter. That number, 4 to 5 tons of usable DM, is the bar every system we examine has to clear. Some systems easily blow past it. Others look impressive on paper but fall short when you account for digestibility and intake. This baseline is the filter. Everything else in this video either meets it or fails. Warm season biomass systems. Let's start with the warm season powerhouse. Sorghum and Sudan mixes with cowpeas and millet. These are used across Texas, Missouri, Georgia, and plenty of other regions, and the numbers are real. 6 to 10 dry tons per acre is common. In high-fall rain areas, 12 plus tons isn't rare. Crude protein swings from 9 to 18% depending on timing. Standing forage is usually 30 to 40% dry matter. The rest is water. So from a biomass standpoint, these systems look unbeatable. They stack tonnage fast and respond well to heat and nitrogen, but here's where the advanced discussion matters. The 45-day digestibility curve. Once these warm season giants move past the boot stage, the ADF, NDF numbers climb fast, and after about 45 to 50 days, lignin becomes the limiting factor, not yield. When lignin crosses 7%, intake starts to fall. Once it climbs further, cattle physically cannot consume enough, even if they're standing in a wall of feed. When it works, the system can absolutely replace winter hay, 1 to 3 cows per acre in many regions. When it's grazed as standing stockpile before lignin spikes, or it's cut at the boot stage and allowed to regrow, or it's paired with legumes like cowpeas to boost energy and maintain intake, and ideally grazed in strips to limit trampling loss. When it fails, if you let it lodge or let it mature past the digestibility window, you're left with gorgeous tonnage and lousy energy. A 10-ton field behaves like a 4-ton field when fermentation time limits intake. That's why these systems are either rockstar performers or total disappointments. Done right, warm season biomass systems can replace 1 to 3 cows' winter hay per acre. Done poorly, they look amazing and feed poorly. Perfect segue into perennials next. Perennial shrub forage and tree fodder systems. Now let's look at the acre that surprises people the most. Perennial shrubs and tree fodder. This system doesn't look impressive at first glance, but on a dry matter basis, it quietly competes with your best annuals. Here are the real numbers. Mulberry coppice, 3 to 5 tons dm per acre. Hybrid poplar strips, 4 to 7 tons dm per acre. Willow fodder, 2 to 4 tons dm per acre. Elaeagnus autumn olive, 2 tons dm per acre. Higher protein and nitrogen fixing. And when you combine these in silvopasture spacing, you regularly hit 6 to 10 tons of usable dm per acre once the system is established. But the bigger advantage isn't tonnage, it's digestibility stability. This is the key insight most grazers miss. Tree fodder holds digestibility far longer into the season than warm season grasses. Why? Lignin climbs much more slowly in leaves than in grass stems. The leaf to stem ratio stays favorable even late in the season. Protein doesn't crash the way it does in annual biomass giants. Tree store sugars in the leaves, and animals maintain higher intake. That one factor, stable intake, is why a 3-ton tree system can sometimes outperform a 10-ton grass system. Does it replace hay? Yes, very reliably. If the management is dialed in, coppice on a 2 to 3 year rotation. Use narrow strips integrated with ground level forages. Graze at controlled pressure to avoid bark stripping. Keep animals moving. Don't let them camp under shade trees. When done well, perennial fodder doesn't just replace hay. It gives multi-year fed stability that annuals simply can't match. This is the acre for people who want consistency instead of boom and bust annual cycles. Cooled season relay and layered cropping. Now for the system most people underestimate. Cool season relay cropping. This is the acre that's built on timing, layers, and skill. One example rotation that works across Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and even Australia. Rye, then peas, chicory, plantain, then brassicas. Here's what each layer produces. Rye stockpile, 1 to 5 to 2.5 tons dm. Chicory plantain, 1 ton dm. Brassicas mix, 2 to 4 tons dm. Relay peas, 0.5 to 1 ton dm. That gives you a real-world total of 4.5 to 7.5 tons of usable dry matter per acre, right in the strike zone for replacing hay. What makes this system powerful is not just the yield, it's the quality curve. Winter sugars stay high equals better energy. Brassicas remain highly digestible late into fall. Chicory extends grazing windows when grasses stall. Animals maintain intake without fighting high NDF. You're stacking growth curves, so something useful is always peaking at the right time. Does it replace hay? Yes, very often. 1 to 2 cows per acre is common. 3 cows in good climates with tight management. But this is not a set and forget acre. This is not a casual system. The timing has to be right. For advanced grazers, though, it's one of the most reliable ways to produce winter feed without depending on warm season moisture or tree crop establishment. The missing variable, intake behavior versus yield. Here's the part that decides everything, and it has nothing to do with how much forage is standing on the acre. Most 1-acre hay replacement failures happen because winter intake collapses, not because the acre didn't grow enough. You can have 8 tons of gorgeous forage and still come up short if the animal can't eat enough of it fast enough to meet daily requirements. Let's break down the reasons intake crashes in winter. Frost shifts the sugar curve. After the first hard freeze, sugars often spike in cool season forage, which is good, but warm season crops lose energy fast. Animals naturally shift preference, and intake follows energy. NDF and ADF hit thresholds where the rumen slows down. When NDF climbs past the mid-60s or ADF creeps too high, the fermentation time in the rumen stretches out. Longer fermentation, slower turnover, fewer bites, lower total intake. When intake drops, cattle move into maintenance mode. You'll see it. They stop grazing aggressively. The bite rate slows. They start standing instead of moving. And at that point, it doesn't matter what the acreage yield was, the animal physically can't meet its daily DM target. The rumen slowdown cycle takes over. Once bite rate falls, saliva production drops, pH rises, digestion efficiency falls, and the animal enters a loop where it simply cannot catch up, even with plenty of biomass around. This is why high biomass systems fail when managed casually, and why modest yield systems succeed when digestibility stays high. Yield is not the bottleneck, intake is, and that's the lens you need when we lay out the 3-acre models next. Real acre scenarios, 3 types of farms. Let's make this practical. Here are 3 real-world acre types, so you can see which one matches your context. Scenario A, warm climate acre, southern U.S. System, high biomass annuals, sorghum, Sudan, cowpea mixes, millet. Real output, 2 to 3 cows winter hay replaced per acre. Works because these systems can push 6 to 12 tons of dry matter. Caveat, skill required. You succeed or fail on seeding dates, canopy transitions, and moisture timing. This acre wins in warm climates with steady moisture. Scenario B, temperate acre, Midwest, Northeast. System, relay crops, rye, peas, chicory, brassicas layered for a rolling feed curve. Real output, 1 to 2 cows reliably, occasionally 3 in forgiving climates or exceptional years. Total usable DM about 4.5 to 7.5 tons. Caveat, skill required. You succeed or fail on seeding dates, canopy transitions, and moisture timing. Scenario C, silvopasture acre, mulberry, poplar, shrubs. System, mulberry, hybrid poplar, willow, Elaeagnus strips with ground layer forage. Real output, 1 to 2 cows reliably after 3. 6 to 10 tons DM per acre once established. Stable digestibility equals stable intake. Caveat, skill required. Timing and moisture control decide everything. This acre wins in warm climates with steady rainfall. The truth, no single acre works the same, but every farm type has a system that will replace hay if the management is tight. This gives your audience something solid they can act on, no matter their climate or forage base. So here's the bottom line. The part people argue about online, but the math doesn't care. Yes, 1 acre can replace your winter hay bill, but it only works if that acre produces at least 4 to 5 tons of usable dry matter, and the forage is digestible enough for animals to actually eat it. To make it work on your farm, use this simple framework. Biomass. Your acre must hit 4 tons of dry matter minimum. More is better. Digestibility. You need 50% or higher. Low digestibility kills intake before it kills yield. NDF ceiling. Keep NDF under 60%. Once you cross that line, the rumen slows and the whole system falls apart. Intake. Animals must stay above 1.6% of body weight in dry matter. If bite rate falls, nothing else matters. Losses. Weather, trampling, spoilage must stay below 35% combined. That's your usable DM reality. Layers. You need at least 2 crop layers, annual and perennial, or warm season and cool season, to protect the acre from seasonal swings and timing failures. Meet these 6 criteria and the acre pays for itself every winter. If you want a version of this acre fitted to your climate, silvopasture, warm season annuals, or relay crops, just drop a comment and I'll map it out. Have you tried any of these systems on your own farm? How did they perform for you? I read every comment. Subscribe for more advanced regenerative farming breakdowns, and we'll see you next time.